Joining us today is, of course, Krishna Kumar Gowda, General Secretary of the Greater Bengaluru IT Companies and Industries Association. It's a mouthful, but this is what it translates to. GBITCIA. Sounds nice and snappy. An industry body that actually is representing some of the largest IT employers, innovators, and taxpayers in Bengaluru. Krishna brings over 2 decades of operational leadership experience, having led large IT and infrastructure programs at Intel, Orca, and now steering industry collaboration through Jubitsia. Today, he will join us and he will be, of course, helping us decode why entrepreneurs and industry leaders are stepping up to fix Bengaluru and what a sustainable public private model could look like for the city's future. Krishna, a big warm welcome to Front Page. A very happy Diwali.
Thank you, Sudhir. Thank you for having me on the
Wonderful to have you
session.
with us. We are delighted to have you. And of course, Kiran, recently, I think, has made a clarification where she won't be actually initiating what she had earlier talked about. Would have been nice, though, if she would have actually contributed.
So definitely, yes. I mean, not only Kiran Madam, most of the other senior leaders of the industries,
True.
CXOs, and entrepreneurs have already stepped up and taken up initiatives to help the city's infrastructure with the right authorities. Even startups have done a lot of hackathons to solve the local problems here. And
Sure.
also, let me remind you, most of the organizations here have contributed for the creation of the metro stations here through a private-public PPP model.
So, Krishna, actually, that brings me to the point where we kick off this conversation, which, as you would have heard, we've talked about the infrastructure being, well, fairly paralyzed at this given point in time, the fact that it requires a cohesive effort. And that brings me to this first thought. Bengaluru's population is projected to cross 1.47 crores by 2031. The city's infrastructure is visibly under strain, potholes, flooding, garbage, and some of the worst traffic bottlenecks in the country. So the point is, Krishna, do you think Bengaluru is now probably at that tipping point where traditional governance models can no longer keep up? And is this why we are finally seeing entrepreneurs who are, well, stepping in with civic action and plausible support?
So definitely, we can say that because see, all the business leaders, CXOs come from the common people here. And they
Mhm.
also have a passion and love for the city, for which they have invested heavily, and they've created jobs, created businesses, created their own ecosystem here around the city, and they've stayed in the city for last many more years. So that's the love of the city which anybody proudly carries. So definitely, Bangalore has reached a point where the governance model has to be split. So that's the reason government has created Greater Bangalore Authority (GBA),
Mhm.
which five different zones, five different commissioners handling the all the five divisions like Northwest, East, South, and Central. I'm sure uh, uh, government would consider this option for having entrepreneurs, CXOs, business leaders into this decision-making committees so that we can also come up and contribute effectively to the city's upliftment and to take this great city to a next level.
Krishna, you just mentioned, and that was, I think, a very valid point, the fact that, the government will also probably need to take cognizance of inviting, let's say, CXOs, CEOs. You are a very, very crucial voice in terms of the liaison between the government and the big tech companies and the entrepreneurs. Have you heard any such conversations, any such whispers where the government is genuinely contemplating this move?
I mean, you mean government is not accepting this move? What
No,
that's
no,
what
no.
you're
They
trying to say?
are actually. contemplating it, that they will be probably taking it formally by inviting
No,
CEOs and CXOs.
no, definitely. See, I think recently our IT minister also spoke that there is a model called LCTA model, Electronic City Industrial Township Authority model, which is led by the LCTA township, where a lot of industries and companies operate from. It's a very successful model in Bangalore. Our
Hmm.
IT minister recently told that it's a very successful model, and we have to replicate this in other parts of the state and the city where concentrated industries and companies are there. So probably that government is also thinking on that terms, and government is
Hmm.
also trying to create a work, live, play model cities where people can stay there, work there, and also have their social life there, like Queen City, uh, uh,
Hmm.
Swift City, and also recently launched AI City in the outskirts of Bangalore. So I wish
Hmm.
all these projects start early and complete as scheduled on time, and so that we can decongest this great city growing into 1.5 crore population. And this is also
Sure.
one of the largest and fastest growing city in the world. So we should have concrete steps to decongest them.
Krishna, you had just mentioned regarding Queen City. We had done a very extensive story on front page, and I'd like to share a very honest, transparent feedback that a lot of people wrote in, and we had a deluge of comments coming in from our audience and our viewers, and a lot of them were very skeptical about the fact that yes, it's a great initiative, but every comment genuinely had this tone that we need to fix the potholes first. We need to make Bangalore great again. Instead of us maybe announcing another initiative, let's fix this and then we can come to that. What do you feel about that? That is the
No,
general collective consciousness.
no, definitely. I definitely agree with that point. See, this is a daily operations of fixing the potholes, clearing the solid waste, clearing the waterlogging points, clearing the black spots, having good street lights working, having the CCTVs checked on a weekly basis. This is all a consistent or regular job which the corporations have to do, irrespective
Hmm.
of the season, whether it should be round the clock done, just like patrolling. Okay. So this is daily operations, no second thoughts on that. Also, with this kind of daily operations going on, we need to focus on the high density projects which the city needs immediately. The
Hmm.
Bangalore Business Corridor, the tunnels which the Honorable DCM has been talking about. We need the circular railway, and we need the faster completion of the metro and the suburban rails, which are pending from long time. And also, we need a lot of, there is a Pune Bangalore Expressway which connects to the
Hmm.
Queen City. So we need that definitely to decongest a lot of the North Karnataka connections where we can think about moving the industries beyond Bangalore. And definitely we need a lot of elevated corridors, which government has been talking, so that we can have a seamless movement of the traffic from within the city and also uh, outside the city.
Fair. What I could gather, Krishna, from your import right now is, of course, that we need to do all of this on a regular basis. So that means the intent is there. Somewhere the execution is failing, and which brings me to the point which was made by the former finance minister P. Chidambaram. Of course, went on to say this. Recently, he actually proposed a hybrid governance model where basically the government funds public works, contractors execute, and industrialists or companies supervise for quality and accountability. So, Krishna, how viable is this kind of model for Bengaluru, especially from all of the points that you just made, that we need to have these checkpoints, whether it be roads, mobility, waste management, CCTVs, getting rid of black spots, all of those factors? Do you believe industry supervision can really bridge the execution gap? Because I think somewhere maybe that is where it's failing, it's falling through.
No, I see. So they definitely we need to understand one thing. So all these
Mm-hmm.
business leaders, senior CXOs have built companies, made them successful, created jobs, and also kept their board of directors, stockholders happy, and they've also seen profits from
Mm-hmm.
many more years. Let us be very considerable of that fact that they are very successful people who have done things, remarkable things in the industry. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure these people, if inducted into any special board or special committee where the quality assessments of these projects are assessed, definitely they
Mm-hmm.
can make good wonders with the quality thing. And we can definitely work hands in hand. And as GBITCIA, we are ready to work with the government to facilitate this with the senior leaders. And definitely, see, Kiran Madam is always been a forefront along with Mohandas Paisar. But
Mm-hmm.
we have heard a lot of CXOs who are very keen. Government also has some programs where they induct senior leaders from the IT companies into the administration so that they can streamline a lot of things and bring in a lot of cutting edge technologies uh, in the administration, local and the state administration. So I'm sure bringing these kind of option, which our former finance minister has expressed, it's a great idea, so that we can
Mm-hmm.
have a, a, a very good coordination between the industries and the local governments, so that we can complete these high density projects not only in Bangalore, in any other cities of the country also, in a timely fashion. And also, as we all know, the growing urban centers are our regional, I mean, they are our economic centers. And we need to step up and help all these urban centers plan their next 15 or 20 years, how we are taking them ahead and bringing all these changes in whatever capacity, high density projects. Most of the cities are undergoing metros constructions. A lot of tunnel projects have been planned across the nation. A lot of many cities are creating second airports for the easy commute of citizens there. So definitely a PPP model and led by industry leaders will definitely take this to a next step, and will have an easy collaboration and a good quality monitoring.
Okay, so before I actually move on to the next bit, which is the tech innovation aspect, Krishna, I need to ask you this. You are a very experienced voice as far as the ecosystem is concerned. You just mentioned that there has been maybe some conversations with some tech leaders, with some companies, that probably the government is happening. So the first request that I have is, if it would be nice, maybe if you could quantify that for for our listeners, our viewers. That was one. Second, personally, as far as Krishna Gowda is concerned, where do you think it's falling through? What do you feel? What's your personal thought? That intent, maybe yes, we are growing at a blistering pace. There is a lot of innovation, there's a lot of future plans, but something is constantly amiss. And I don't know if you'll be able to grapple with that, with the way, at the speed with which you are growing. So I would like your personal take.
No, I mean, if you ask my personal take, I think I've seen Bangalore, I've studied here, worked here.
Hmm.
Uh, I see that, see, we should definitely have a long vision master plan in mind, and all the departments, all the parastatals should align with that master plan.
Hmm.
Definitely, this master plan should be another 15 to 20 years master plan, probably by like 2045 or something, when India will be celebrating 100 years of independence.
Hmm.
So next 20 years is very critical for Greater Bangalore, and we have a lot of investors who are ready to come and invest in Bengaluru and create jobs here, not only in IT sector, in a lot of healthcare, aerospace, pharma. all other sectors are in textiles and even heavy industries also. So why we are lacking here is, I'm sure that like for last 10 to 15 years,
Mm,
the pace in which we completed the heavy high density projects is very
mhm.
slow. We should
Okay.
by now we should be having we should have already had the Bangalore business corridor, 104-kilometer business corridor across the city ready. And we should, I think we have around 90 kilometers of metro connectivity now. I'm sure it should have been at least more than 150 kilometers of metro network as of now.
Mm, mm,
And the nearby satellite cities should have been already connected with suburban metro. The cities like Mysore, Tumkur, Kolar, and even cities like Hosur, which is very close to Bangalore, are growing in rapid pace. So we need a better connectivity to that.
mm,
And third is, I mean, see, we need to think that the public transport should be improved so that because that is the very quick way to move people around the city, be it
mm,
a taxi, be it a metro, be it a bus. We need to promote this public transport culture in the minds of our employees, of our citizens, so that we can uh, the use of public transport will definitely ease out a lot of pressure from off the roads. So that is the one thing. And also government should have a definite vision to bring a lot of uh, sustainable growth challenges in in its policy. And we can also definitely many companies are already trying to help government with their CSR funds, whatever whichever way it's possible, and they're also ready to do a PPP model uh, uh, collaboration with the government so that they can bring a lot of viable changes, at least in their vicinity, especially the East Bangalore. A lot of companies, a lot of industries are accumulated in East Bangalore, and definitely we I think we need the land acquisition wherever is spending for these kind of projects. The policies which are affecting that, I think that needs to be looked at very quickly, so that we should have a balanced growth, so that we can create these heavy density projects and also keep up the greenery around the Bangalore.
I think yes, makes sense, and I really appreciate your honesty, Krishna. The fact that you've talked about all of these facts and figures where the delays have happened, and I think that also has to do with the fact that it's okay, it's fine. Delays can happen. It's ever dynamic, it's ever growing. But I feel, and this is what very quickly I would like for you to answer this. Do you feel there is a sense of ownership to saying, okay, there is a delay, I take ownership for it, and I would like for sure to expedite whatever are the delays so that the larger population, which is working so hard to make Bangalore beautiful, is well inspired and happy with the fact that the governance is actually taking the steps which are required. People are paying taxes. And I think that's one of the questions which comes up at the forefront of one's mind. Do you think that ownership aspect is there, Krishna? It's fine. Delays happen.
So definitely, see, every government in the nation definitely wants to attract the investment and create an ecosystem of job creation for its people here. And delays have occurred in many sectors here, and definitely government will take a serious note of this and pull up its socks so that we can all have a target-oriented completion of all the projects, because it's not about starting a project and completing it on their own sweet time. It's all about a
Mm,
time-based completion of the project, which helps the growth, because we need to chase the rapid pace of the city which is growing. Development should
mm,
definitely should match up that pace. And uh, I'm sure so the Honorable CM and the Deputy CM, who is the also the Bangalore in charge minister, has taken cognizance of this, and they are trying to talk to a lot of industry leaders, citizens, civic agencies, NGOs, and also they have deployed many officers, senior officers to the city to take a note of this, and very good officers are looking into this kind of activities. So, and which now the Greater Bangalore Authority in place, uh, I hope a lot of visible changes happen on the ground so that we can see a lot of improvements on the ground with kind of the civic communities that we are concerned about, so that many industry leaders are always concerned about the challenges here. So definitely many companies who are already existing in Bangalore wants to expand here and grow the businesses here, because Bangalore has its own brand in the entire world, and now the Greater Bangalore is also in place. So I think government will definitely take a closer look at this.
Well, Krishna, we sure hope that the relevant people are listening to this conversation and the inertia finally cracks, which actually happened with a brilliant entrepreneur. Uh, I mean, frustration, call it the irritation. We have seen actually the co-founder of EaseMyTrip, Prashant Pitti. He put down a crore of rupees of his own money to fix traffic choke points using AI, Google Maps, and satellite imagery. We know about this, Krishna. So, do you see AI and data led solutions as critical to solving Bengaluru's infrastructure problems, or will they remain band aid fixes without systemic reform? What kind of industry, government, tech collaboration would actually make a meaningful impact here, Krishna?
Definitely, say Bangalore has been a leader in cutting edge technologies. We have Google, Microsoft, Intel, and other big companies operating from Bangalore here. And I've also spoken to Prashant Pitti, and I really appreciate the effort that he has taken to solve the Bangalore's traffic congestion issues with this team. And many other companies are also willing to offer support in terms of technology. I'm sure we should definitely use big data AI in bringing in and seeing how this congestion levels of Bangalore can be
Hmm.
brought down particularly in the peak hours of uh, uh, on certain week where we experience, and also there are definitely choke points in the entry exits of the city where normally when we have long holidays, we see that. So we can use this data, and companies, I'm sure, are ready. Companies like Google, Microsoft are ready to share this data with the government and also certain authorities, definitely in a very controlled manner, and take this to a very problem-solving mode. And the initiatives of similar kind have already been in in place. I mean, they are already working on that. I'm sure a lot of startups are also trying to solve this kind of problems. Even the aggregators like Swiggy, Zomato are also sharing the data. Ola, Uber, everybody are sharing data with the traffic police to solve the congestion problems. And companies with certain other AI technologies are also mapping the pothole data to the Greater Bangalore Authority data so that they can map the pothole fixes also.
Krishna, it was a great initiative, Walkaluru, but I'll come to that. I'll walk to that actually. Before that, I wanted to ask you, you said something which was regarding Prashant Pitti. Do you feel, and this is what I want to ask you, you've talked about GBA a few times. Uh, Pitti took a great initiative, but unfortunately, it could not fly because probably there was a lack of coordination or a cohesive effort between the Bangalore Traffic Police, BBMP. Do you feel maybe with the GBA, even when entrepreneurs want to take the initiative, those will translate a lot quicker and won't find, I mean, getting stuck in loopholes or the lack of coordination between government authorities? That's what I wanted to ask you.
So, see, I don't feel that way because many leaders have come up and provided solutions. Not only now, I mean, from last We have seen this from last 30 years. Companies like Infosys, Wipro have always stepped up and given their technology so that they can solve the city's problems. Uh, uh, Probably sometimes what happens is when we try to contemplate the existing system in
Hmm.
the government, so we are trying to introduce a tech mode or technology mode where we can have a lot of data driven statistics on a daily basis so that we can track this data. uh, for example, how much sanitation workers attendance today, and where are the black spots? How can we fix the street lights not working? How can we identify a pothole? It's a lot of technology, a lot of apps. The companies have definitely provided data with that. Prashant has led a wonderful initiative. I'm so glad of him. So, but I mean, definitely we need a concentrated approach. So, if we go have like an individual approach, definitely we see a lot of chances of not getting it through. But
Hmm.
through GBITCIA, we are ready to collaborate with everybody and bring in a collaborated effort and work with the government so that we can achieve find solutions for these kind of problems.
Did I understand you correctly, Krishna? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Pitti took a great initiative. We applaud him for that. Unfortunately, well, couldn't fly to the extent you talked about capturing data, which is fabulous. But do you believe that Jibitsia can play a role in actually taking that voice to the government in terms of the kind of policies which are needed to fast track? We've captured data, we've done everything, we've figured out everything. And then from there, we need policies to actually make sure that they can get implemented. Do you feel that Jibitsia can play a voice there with the government?
Yes, exactly. We are committed to be a listening with the industry leaders and the government authorities so that we can bring have practical solutions on the ground. And we are dedicated. Our association is dedicated to find solutions for these kind of problems. I'm sure industry leaders uh, are their bandwidth is very limited, and they're very committed in their work in the organizations. So we Jibicha will definitely are if reached out, my team will definitely be able to help them how they can work with certain levels of engineers and officers in the government departments and achieve
Hmm.
success these kind of initiatives so that these kind of wonderful initiatives from our business leaders don't go wasted.
Wonderful. That is so encouraging to hear, Krishna, and thoroughly appreciate the honesty as far as that is concerned. Now, coming back to the Walkaluru movement, which we just talked about a little while back, is actually proving how citizen participation can transform the dirty, encroached upon streets into clean, walkable corridors. Basically, with volunteers, BBMP, marshals, and civic groups working together, I want to ask you, Krishna, how do you see industry bodies like Jibitsia partnering with or scaling up such hyper local models? Can these community led interventions become part of the larger urban governance strategy?
No, definitely. See, Jibicha is, as I mentioned, is always ready to work with the civic leaders, the NGOs, who tried to do this kind of Walkaluru or
Hmm.
clean the road concept. And we have already been working with a lot of companies and industries to bring this uh, program on the ground through their employees, because a lot of companies wants to do this kind of CSR programs, cleanup activities, take up a stretch of road, take up a stretch of footpath, and clean it have a deep cleaning done, and then uh, also it is helping the companies and industries achieve their sustainable goals in their organization. And we definitely promote this kind of culture, and we are also part of the citizen here. Every employee working in the companies and industries of Bangalore are also uh, proud citizens of Bengaluru. GBITCIA also promotes this kind of activity, and we definitely work with the GBA in coming days to take up several stretches across the city where it needs immediate attention to have uh, the stretches of the road or the footpaths or the medians to be cleared
Nice.
from the solid waste, dumping of medical wastes wherever it's seen, and also to clean up the black spots.
Hmm. Krishna, it's so nice to know that, you know, cohesively someone is walking the talk. And that's amazing. This brings me to this point, which is, of course, many citizens feel that civic funds exist, but execution and accountability are missing. How can industry bring in operational rigor, Krishna, without actually stepping on political or bureaucratic toes? It's a very fine balance. So, according to you, what kind of governance frameworks or legal scaffolding are needed to make this collaboration sustainable and not just a feel good story, actually actionable?
So, I mean, see, most of the companies are already doing their bit to the society through CSR initiatives. What they are
Hmm.
already
Hmm.
doing that in water conservation, education sectors, or technology adoption, and also the civic structures in different parts of Bangalore. I just don't want to
Hmm.
mention East Bangalore. North
Sure,
Bangalore is
fair.
growing very, very rapidly, and there are a lot of activities. A lot of our industries are also especially taking that. FKCCI, the Federation of Karnataka Chamber of Commerce and Industries, is also leading in this. So definitely, we would like to support that initiative also. I'm sure with all the industry leaders. So that's the reason we have GBITCIA promotes so that all the industry leaders come under our platform and have their uh, hands-on with the team so that we can create a greater city for our citizens,
Hmm.
for our employees, so that we can
Hmm.
have a good business environment and a good technology development environment in Greater Bangalore. And we are definitely committed to do that.
Krishna, are you seeing over the last, well, recent past, that there is a sense of inspiration or there's a sense of positivity which is coming in with all of these initiatives that you just talked about? Is there an improvement in terms of what things were like and where probably these initiatives are starting to take the road?
You mean the cleanup initiatives you're talking about?
Not just that, cleanup is one factor. The fact that Jibitsia is playing a very important role, the fact that, the government is, like you had mentioned earlier, is trying to invite CEOs, CXOs to take initiatives, be, let's say, partner up. All of these initiatives which are being taken, do you feel that they have gained momentum in the recent past? And are we heading towards a quicker solution towards all of these pain areas?
So, I mean, see, when I say gain momentum, definitely it needs more momentum to be added to that. And we
Hmm.
need, and Jibicha will always reach out to all the industry leaders to raise up to the occasion and join hands with the government so that we can increase the momentum of these kind of activities. I'm sure definitely all the companies and industries in Bangalore have a lot of pride in the city. That's the reason they are present in the city, and they know that the brand of Bangalore has helped their businesses grow in the city here. And definitely, we we, GBITCIA will promote a lot of industry leaders to come up and take these kind of activities. And we are definitely ready to liaison with the government and take it to a conclusion so that we can see viable changes on the ground.
Fair enough. Bengaluru contributes over 38% of the India's IT exports. That's a big one. Its infrastructure isn't just a local issue, Krishna. It's actually a national economic risk.
Correct.
How real is the threat of companies moving out of Bengaluru? We just spoke that they have achieved great things. But there is also the flip side. If the situation doesn't improve, and conversely, what economic upside could better infrastructure unlock for the city and the ecosystem?
See, I mean, uh, I've not seen any other brand or any other company who is present in Bangalore has completely moved out of Bangalore. I'm
Hmm.
sure, yes, they have moved to other cities and expanded in other cities, and they are operating from there as well. But Bangalore continues, as you mentioned, to be the number one city for the IT exports and growth here, and also the industries. So not only in this segment, a lot of aerospace, pharmaceutical, education sector, Bangalore has been the leader, and since last 2 decades. I'm sure the government is taking a note of the concern which industry leaders
Hmm.
and companies are making, stressing the point of need of the infrastructure challenges in the city. So, however, I'm sure all our companies and industries in Greater Bangalore will continue to exist here and grow their businesses in a very business-friendly environmental situations, which is already existing and also which government is working in the next master plan or in the next upcoming years.
Okay. So I guess my takeaway from that last bit, Krishna, is the fact that the government, as you mentioned, and very rightly, incisively, that the government is aware that it is a serious problem, and actually the infrastructure is at a tipping point. So the government does not want to get into a situation where a lot of people and a lot of the big tech companies have moved not completely out of Bangalore, but moved a lot of their big operation, critical operations out of Bangalore, just maybe leaving a skeletal understanding as far as Bangalore is concerned. Fair enough. That was my takeaway as far as that is concerned. And I hope that everyone is cognizant of that. Which actually brings me to this, Krishna.
Yeah,
3 to 5 years ahead, the future map. Do you see Bengaluru becoming a model for industry led civic partnerships? Or will it continue to remain trapped in the same infrastructure loop? What would your ideal, as in Krishna's ideal, Jibitzia's ideal, roadmap look like? One that blends entrepreneurial vision, government accountability, and citizen ownership. Will that what you
so
want?
no, definitely. See, next 3 to 5 years is going to be very crucial for Greater Bangalore. Definitely, we need quicker completion of the metro lines which are under construction,
Mhm.
and we need the faster completion of suburban metro. And definitely, we need next 24 months to 30 months, or maybe 36 months. We need the completion of Bangalore Business Corridor, the 104-kilometer Bangalore Business Corridor, which has been planned by the government of Karnataka, which will be a complete greenfield uh, expressway. And we need definitely completion of, we need definitely need the second airport to be
Mhm.
completed so that the stress on the initial airport is taken off. Uh,
True.
we definitely need a lot of expressways to connect to
I think unfortunately, Krishna, can you hear me? We've lost visual and also we've lost your audio. There you are. We found you. Sorry, you were saying, Krishna.
expressways in this.
Yep.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So we definitely need a lot of expressways to the other cities of connecting through Greenfield. And we also need the circular railways being planned by the railways department. We need the faster completion of that. And
Mhm.
these are the projects. And definitely our honorable DCM is talking about the tunnels, which also needs a faster completion and timely completion. And we definitely need a massive improvement in our public transport system, be it buses, taxis, and we need to promote a lot of public transport in the city. And GBITCIA is always advocating this to all our companies and industries across Bengaluru to promote uh, public transport
Also,
usages.
yeah, sorry. Also, Krishna, we mentioned progress, and I congratulate you on that. We have mentioned the aspect of the contribution that needs to be made by the citizens, by GBITCIA, by organizations. But I think one little thing we've all had an oversight on, which I believe is the beating heart of Bangalore, which is its heritage. We very recently heard about the Lal Bagh conversation. There has been a lot of criticism in terms of the fact that progress cannot be built on the shoulders, or for that matter, the broken shoulders of heritage. I would like your final take on that, because I believe progress cannot decimate something as beautiful as the heritage. So, what can we do to balance that? To preserve heritage, but at the same given point in time, make progress pointed and take it to its pinnacle.
No, definitely. See, there is no second thought that we need to preserve the heritage of Bengaluru. Bangalore is also known as the Garden City of India, and it's also the tech capital of India. So, and it was also called a pensioner's paradise long ago. And with the with the amount of growth which we are having currently, so definitely we need to preserve our heritage, our culture in the city, and we should have a sustainable growth also, so that we can attract a lot of investments which are already in pipeline to us, and we need to accommodate them. And definitely government also need to look at a lot of other cities in the state, so that we can uh, uh, have a good connectivity to the Bangalore, and also develop them in accordance, so that it can uh, sustain development which is going far beyond Bangalore, especially cities like Mangalore, Mysore, or even cities like Belgaum are have a lot of caliber in them to grow on the similar lines of Bangalore.
Bidadi,
The Bidadi is
as well.
Bidadi is in Bangalore.
Yeah, I mean, what I mean to say is that moving is to actually move out. Is that your thought as far as the sustainability or preserving the heritage is concerned? That reduce the pressure on the city and let it kind of grow outwardly, which will actually strike that balance. Is that what it is, Krishna?
Yes, definitely. See, we should definitely have a balance to achieve, I mean, to maintain our heritage standards, and also to continue to create development around it, and to have a sustainable or a balanced growth. Definitely, we need there is no second thoughts on that.
Fair enough. Well, Krishna, it's been a true pleasure speaking with you. We are all very, very hopeful that we can take all of the steps that we've discussed today at length. I believe all our viewers who've been watching will have a lot of things to say positively to the fact that you have been very clear in terms of your conversation. Wherever things have
Thanks, Sati.
not worked out, those have been owned up to. And I believe initiatives is what it is that will help us get over these challenges. And of
No,
course, wishing you and Jibitsia all the luck.
no, thank you, Sadi. I mean, thank you for all your wishes, and definitely we need media support in doing these kind of activities and take them to next level. So I appreciate, I thank you for the giving me this opportunity.
It's a pleasure. And of course, wishing you a very happy Diwali. And as you had mentioned, that as far as the master plan is concerned, which is the 100 years of India's independence, we're just hoping that way before that, Bangalore has independence as far as the congestion of traffic is concerned.
Thank you, Sudhi.
Yep.
Happy Deepavali to you and to all your viewers. Thank you.
Same to you too, sir.